of the environment. It is also a day for each member state to reaffirm her commitment to sustainable environmental management. World Environmental Day is the UN's principal vehicle for encouraging worldwide awareness and action for environment. Over the years, it has grown to be a broad global platform for the public outreach, promoting progress on environmental dimensions of the Sustainable Development Goals. With the UN Environmental Programme, UNEP, at the helm, over 150 countries participates each year. It also serves as the People's Day for doing something positive for the environment, galvanizing individual actions into collective power that generates an exponential positive impact on the planet. The World Environment Day 2020 will be celebrated globally under the theme Time on Nature. This year, Colombia is the global host of the World Environmental Day 2020 in partnership with Germany. Uganda will join the rest of the world to commemorate World Environmental Day under the theme, local theme, Nature is Speaking, Listen. This theme employs us to pay great attention to the nature and check our human actions now. It is also a reminder that our actions have had a detrimental impact on the environment and that nature is now speaking back to us through the various ways, such as landslides in mountainous areas, floods, and extreme weather conditions, that is, wet and dry conditions. The theme invites us to view the nature as one that provides the solutions to the world's problems and therefore important for human survival. Nature should therefore not be disturbed irresponsibly for us to benefit from it and the services it provides. World Environmental Day celebration, therefore, specifically demonstrates human concern over deteriorating situation of physical, biological, and human environment, highlights local and global environmental problems that threaten the entire existence of humankind and the rest of the biological diversity, and demonstrates local and global strategies designed to mitigate current as well as the impending environmental disasters. This year, 2020, there will be no physical gathering to commemorate the World Environmental Day celebrations due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The function will be largely media-based, although some physical restoration activities will be arranged in selected areas across the country at an appropriate time. Press details to mark this day will be held also at Nema House for our limited people. Uganda's endowment. Uganda, the Pearl of Africa, is known for its splendor, natural wonders, and amazing people. It has substantial natural resources, including favorable climate, arable land, oil reserves, and small deposits of different types of minerals, a variety of landscapes ranging from woodland to forests, rangelands and wetlands. All this varied vegetation hosts abundant wildlife, primates and bird life. The country is among those endowed with greatest diversity of animal and plant species and ranks among the top 10 most biodiverse countries in the world, including about 53.9% of the world's population of mountain gorillas, about 11% of the world's recorded species of birds. That's about 50% of Africa's bird species. 7.8%, about 345 species of global mammal diversity is here in Uganda. 19%, about 86 species of African's Amphibian species richness, and 14%, about 142 species of African's reptile species richness. 1,249 recorded species of butterflies lies here in Uganda, and 600 species of fish as per the records 2013-2014. 4,500 species of high plants lies in Uganda. The largest proportion of Uganda's economy is heavily dependent on biodiversity, including the fishing industry, tourism from wildlife biodiversity, livestock industry, commercial and subsistence use of medicinal plants, and ecotourism, among others. As such, therefore, environmental resources, if used properly, can contribute significantly to the Uganda's national economic development. Why is time out for nature? Despite government efforts to promote sustainable development and maintain a clean and healthy environment, resources continue to be degraded by human through the following. 1. Destruction of habitats by vegetation clearance, charcoal making, bush burning, causing habitat loss. 2. Wetlands, particularly seasonal wetlands, are rapidly being converted into rice fields, other forms of agriculture, or for seasonal grazing by livestock. Near urban areas, they are considered prime sites for factories. Forests and woodlands are also being cleared at a very high rate. Agricultural encroachment and expansion. About half of the land area of Uganda is given over to agriculture. Mostly smallholder farms growing food crops as well as cash crops. Subsistence agriculture is the most practiced, but there are several areas of large-scale farmland as well. overgrazing of our resources, overharvesting. For example, fish, leading to fish stock rapidly declining, pollution through poor waste management practices. Besides the human actions, natural resources now also continue to be degraded through climate change effects, diseases, demographic factors as well. Climate change as a factor. The climate change in Uganda is already changing. The snowfields on Rwenzori mountains have been declining for many years. There are extreme weather patterns, that is rains and sunshines. Population increase. This has also put more pressure on the available resources. This jeopardizes both individual livelihoods, since they are linked to sound natural resources management and the country's economic development. His Excellency highlights that it was a result of a breakaway of a portion from the mainland due to the rising water levels, but he also, I want to quote this, that the mass land, the floating mass land, had even crops grown on it. A delicate area, Mayuni, was found on it, and he emphasized it is unacceptable. It is a fragile floating land, but people had already planted Mayuni on it. His Excellency said it's not acceptable, and we are all saying it is not acceptable. Therefore, I quote, I'm directing, therefore that's His Excellency directing the Ministry of Water and Environment to remove all the people on the wetlands, shorelines, riverbanks, and government forests, except the historical ones of Busoga, Bukedia, and Chigezi. He made an exception. He actually, I'm not reading it all, I'm quoting what is responding to our theme. He's also highlighting that they will be used, as a government, we shall use the model of aquaculture, where people are helped to move to the fish ponds and away from rice growing in swamps. What are we doing? This is some of the interventions. And he says swamps are granaries. He quoted it there, that is I think in Acholi, in Kitara, Chanji. It is a granary for water and most gardens. And I quote lastly that you should not only remove encroachers, but should, working with local governments, ensure that Muruka and Gombolora chiefs who never took action against the encroachers should be dismissed. This is the political will. This is what, as a country, we are standing for. It's a commitment, and that is what today's theme is asking us. What is our commitment as a country? We have gone out to implement this directive, and today we are asking Ugandans that we all listen, because Mother Nature is talking. The effects are glaring. I look forward, after COVID, the lockdown, that we engage, all of us, into massive protection and conservation of our environment for God and my country. Thank you.